Another day, another PlayStation Store sale. This is their play on March Madness, but they're calling it Mega March instead of March Madness. Actually, some decent games in here. This one goes through till the 1st of April, so you've only got a couple of days left as of the time of recording this to actually jump in and do it. I have another video about this one coming out probably in a couple of hours time about games under $10. This one is more just a generalized games I recommend and don't recommend. But to start off, before we even get into the video, Watch Dogs Legion is also on sale this week as Deal of the Week for $19.79 on PS4 or PS5. Awesome deal for Watch Dogs Legion. $20. Great deal. This game's only a few months old and it's already 67% off. This is the cheapest it's ever been. Go and check out Watch Dogs Legion if you're looking for an awesome third-person open world game. All right, let's get on with the video. You'll know what's next. Now is when I say to you, hey, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Join the family. It's completely free to do it as well. It helps me out so much. It costs you absolutely nothing, so go ahead and do it if you're a new viewer of the channel. If you're an existing viewer, go ahead and smash that like button down below. That helps me get into the good graces with the YouTube algorithm, and leave me a comment letting me know which games you've picked up from this sale. This is Mega March. We have a bunch of content in here to look at. Now, a few dishonorable mentions before we even start. Borderlands 3, okay. Now this game is $24.49. It's not a bad price for Borderlands 3. Now we've seen it go down to around this price point and a little bit cheaper before, but don't buy this game. I have a suspicion this is going to be one of the PlayStation Plus games this year because it has a PS5 version and things like that. I would still recommend not buying Borderlands 3. The price is still a little bit high, but just I would avoid it for now. I think it's going to get cheaper. Another dishonorable mention is Fast and Furious Crossroads. This game is $35. It's so bad. This was the worst game I played in 2020. It was just appalling. It was the first game I ever live streamed on Twitch. Fun little fact there, but it's not a good game. Don't buy it. Definitely not for $35. And lastly, BioShock Infinite, the complete edition is $15. You can actually buy the BioShock trilogy for $10 normally when it goes on sale, and that includes all 3 games. Don't buy this one for $15 for just the one game. Not a good deal. There's no way it's a good deal. Anyway, let's look at some actual good deals, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about easy platinum games for trophy hunters. We'll have a quick fire, so if you're a trophy hunter, stick around for that. Crash 4 is down to $38.99. You guys know what Crash is. The first time I think it's been discounted this low before. Just came out on the PS5 as well, so you get a PS5 and a PS4 version, which is a pretty good deal, I would say. Crash 4 is arguably the best Crash game that's ever been released. In my opinion, it is. It's a really fun mascot platformer game. Really colorful game. It's a brutal platinum trophy or a completionist style game, so don't go for the completion. But as a individual Crash game, it's a fantastic game. Dead by Daylight Special Edition is $18, $17.99, 40% off. This isn't inherently the cheapest thing, but Dead by Daylight is my game of the generation on the PlayStation 4. I loved this game so much. I played literally thousands of hours of this game. It's an asymmetrical horror game. Someone is the killer, other people are the survivor. You have to play with each other and try and kill each other and try and escape. Super fun, frantic game. If you enjoy horror titles like me, you're gonna love this game. And the great thing about this specifically is that all of the DLC is also on sale, so it's a good time to jump in and start your Dead by Daylight career. On that same vein, essentially the same game is Friday the 13th, the game. This is actually down to $5, which is a great price for this. Keeping in mind, both of these were on PlayStation Plus at some stage, so some of you may already own it, but this is, again, an asymmetric horror game. The difference between the two of them is Dead by Daylight is still actively being worked on and developed, and Friday the 13th development stopped on that game a number of years ago, so keep that in mind with the two of them. But Friday the 13th, if you're looking for a budget or a cheaper title of the same thing, it does the job pretty well. Now, this game here, Werewolf The Apocalypse, I haven't actually played it, but the game only came out, I believe, at the start of the month, so it's only about 3 or 4 weeks old, and it's already 40% off, $30. Reviews for the game weren't super favorable, but looking on some of the Facebook groups I'm part of, there was actually a number of audience members like us who have played the game and said it wasn't too bad in terms of combat. It seems to be like a third-person action or shooter game mixed with a third-person action game. You play as a werewolf and then a soldier, I suppose. It does look rough, but I am kind of intrigued. $30 is still probably a little bit expensive for a very AA game, but it's definitely coming down in price. So if you wait a little bit longer, it might even be cheaper. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is down to $20. This is 50% off. This is arguably one of the best Need for Speed games in more recent times, obviously not counting Most Wanted, but this is a great one developed by Criterion. This one feels a lot like Burnout. It has a lot of the same personality that the Burnout out franchise of Need for Speed, of Burnout Games have, but in a Need for Speed title, which is really, really solid. So check this one out if you're after a decent racing game. There are a bunch of EA and other Need for Speed games that are cheaper than this as well, and we'll talk about those in the $10 video later on as well. Little Hope has come down to 20 bucks. This is the first time this has been as low as 20. This is the anthology of horror games developed by the same guys who made Until Dawn. They made Man of Medan, and this is their second one, Little Hope. It's kind of a miniature version of Until Dawn, that narrative-driven horror experience, if you're into that. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game. This is the remaster of the PS3 classic game that came out on PS4 in February this year. It's 20% off, down to 12 bucks. Beat 'em up style game, essentially. I'm personally not a massive fan of this game, but I know a lot of people are massive fans of Scott Pilgrim, so I thought I would mention it for all of you. Uncharted The Lost Legacy is down to $13. It'd be nice to see this one at 10, but this is probably the lost Uncharted game, essentially, and not a lot of people have played this one because it doesn't star Nathan Drake. It stars Nadine and Chloe from the Uncharted franchise instead, and it's a completely unique spin-off story taking place after Uncharted 4. So if you're an Uncharted buff, this one's down to 13 bucks. It's worth checking out. From the Sony wheelhouse as well, we have Shadow of the Colossus down to $13. This is 35% off. Really, really solid game here. There's a remake of Shadow of the Colossus by Bluepoint Games, the masters of remaking games. Shadow of the Colossus is a third-person open-world action game, but you only fight bosses. It's essentially a boss game. It's it's an amazing experience. It's worth checking out. I don't want to go into too much, but it's worth your time 100%, especially for 13 bucks. Watch Dogs 2 down to $10. I believe this has been cheaper before, but 10 bucks if you're looking for a cheap third-person open world game. This here I think is the deal of the entire sale. Batman the Arkham Collection is down to 15 bucks, 75% off, and this includes 3 games for 15 bucks, which is fantastic. Batman Arkham Knight, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Batman Arkham City. 3 absolutely phenomenal superhero games. These change the game, excuse the pun, for superhero games on the PlayStation or in games in general. Absolutely superb games. These are hundreds of hours worth of content built into these. Definitely, if you're looking for the best deal, I would say it's this one. 3 fantastic titles here. One Piece Worldseeker is 15 bucks, 75% off. I put this in here because anime games don't traditionally get like massive discounts on them. They normally keep their price point for a lot longer. I think it's because of licensing. I played a little bit of this game when it came out and I didn't really enjoy it. It's essentially Dragon Ball Kakarot, where you're controlling Luffy and you're walking around the environment. Kakarot, it's Goku obviously, and you're progressing through the Dragon Ball series. This is that, except for One Piece, rather than it being a fighting game like Dragon Ball and One Piece traditionally are. I started this and I didn't really enjoy it myself, but I wanted to include it in here because it is discounted, and I wanted to see if any of you guys actually have played One Piece Worldseeker, and if you enjoyed it. I'm a huge One Piece fan, and I couldn't get into it. I'm hoping someone has, and maybe they'll encourage me to give it a second go, so leave a comment in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you if you have. Vampire was free on PlayStation Plus a few months back, 75% off, 10 bucks. Cool game for this sort of price. It's a AA open world narrative driven action game. I would say you're playing as a vampire. You got to drink people's blood, or you can choose not to if you don't want to as well. Unique premise though for a game like this, made by the guys who made Life is Strange. Layers of Fear 2 is down to 10 bucks as well. Super scary, spooky game. It has a ton of vibes from the what's the Kojima game that he made, PT, the PT demo. It looks like they've kind of taken that concept and made it into a full game. Layers of Fear 2 is super scary though, so if you're not into scary games, avoid this one like the plague. Call of Cthulhu, this is $8.99, 70% off on this one. It's a bit different. This is a AA game, and we talk about these AA games quite frequently because I feel like they're the ones that go under the radar the most. AA game, it's worth $9, worth checking out. It's got some interesting narrative elements to it as well, but it does have its fair share of jank to it. Platinum trophy wise, I think it's not too bad as well. Now I have a couple of honorable mentions for trophy hunters out here as well, so if you're not a trophy hunter, these games probably aren't going to appeal to you that much. But we have AR Memories of Old. This is $2.39, 84% off. Relatively straightforward platinum trophy on this one. I'm not going to put difficulties or anything like that in here, but these are straightforward platinum trophies that are discounted pretty heavily. La Cops, 75. LA Cops, obviously. LA Cops, 75% off, $3.74. This is kind of like a Hotline Miami style game, but you're cops Pretty straightforward platinum here. I think this one only took me a few hours to get. You've got here Knee Deep for $4.49, 70% off. That artwork. Whew, this game looks rough, but it's essentially like a LucasArts adventure style game. Easy platinum trophy here. I regret to inform you guys I actually did earn this one back in the day. Koto Dama, the mysteries. This one here is $5.99, 80% off. I can't show this one here because it's got so much risque stuff in the trailer. But you can check this one out if you're looking for an easy platinum game. We've talked about this one in the past. And finally, Coffin Dodgers, 60% off, $4.79. This is a racing or kart racing game. Another easy plat. It's only going to take you, 5 or so hours to earn this one as well. And that is sort of my general video on the Mega March or March Madness PlayStation Store sale. Obviously, we're going to have the Easter sale coming out in a couple of days' time. That's going to be massive. It's always massive for Sony. Really looking forward to that. I'll have a series of videos about that soon. I'll also have a video of $10 games in the Mega March sale coming out in a couple of hours' time, so you can go and check that out before the sale ends. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, gamers. If you did, leave a like. If you're a new viewer, hit the subscribe button. You know you want to, baby. And I'll see you gamers all in the next video. Bye for now.